Welcome to my Life 1 tutorial video, or whatever you want to call this. What I'm basically going to do is I'm going to be uploading a series of videos. This one is specifically for Life 1, and I'm going to go through and make setups for different life requirements and money. So this is the first setup for when you start the game at the very beginning. So what I did is whenever you first load a file at Life 1, a new file, you'll start off with a cell furnace. And the mine I'm going to be using is Iron Mine Chan. And if you don't already know where it's at, I'll show you. This is the starting base. If you go over here to this mountainside with a face in it, hop on this little ledge, and inside of here, you can go through it and Iron Mine Chan will be down there. So you can get it once a day or like once every time you join a server. Either way works. I personally do it once a day. But go there and collect your Iron Mine Chan. Once you do that, come back and place it into the cell furnace, the one that you start out with. And this is going to do very well for Life 1. So instead of just using an iron mine, like whatever it is, how much is this? I haven't even tested the difference. Instead of just using a basic iron mine that's worth $2 and getting 40, you can use a Iron Mine Chan completely free. The base ore value is 50k and you'll be getting 100 million. And once a single ore drops through, you'll already be able to get the cell indoctrinator. Whoa, incinerator. What? Okay, once you do that, just place it directly into there. And if you don't have access to these items in the shop yet, which you may or may not, go around the map and collect like these little boxes. I want to see if I can find one for an example, but I might not be able to. If you go around the map, you'll see like crates just on the ground. Go around the map and collect a few of those, and you should have enough RP to purchase these items I'm using. See, here's one right now. This one is specifically for night. As you can see, I got 1000 RP from that. So once you do that, you can go to the shop and purchase a few of these items. Let me just throw some light down so you can see. What I did is I took that Iron Mine Chan, and just don't pay attention to these walls. I have this here because this is the size base you'd be starting with. So place your Iron Mine Chan one away from your corner. So like on the edge, one up. Place it directly onto a basic conveyor, into ore cannon. 2 military grade. A basic conveyor this way. And a basic conveyor that way. Once you do that, grab some wood wall segments from the decorations shop and place them like this, just so the ore doesn't like fall off. If you want to, as you can see, it fell off there, but it's like every once in a while. If you want to, you can just place another there, but it's not necessary. So once you do that, place another ore cannon, place 2 more military grade, and do the basic conveyor things, but this way now. So basic conveyor to the right, and then basic conveyor forward. Place your wooden wall segments again, so it doesn't fall. I'm just going to do this, because it'd probably be better. So once you do that, do another ore cannon, same thing like before. Military grade, your wood wall segments, and your basic conveyors. After that, do one more ore cannon, 2 military grade, a basic conveyor, put your wood wall segments to use as a wall so you don't like fly off the base, and then put a military grade conveyor. After that, place, I'm pretty sure it's 10 plasma iron polishers. I'm using 10 just so it's like it works for every single ore that goes through. But if you really want to just put 1, I don't see why you would at this life, but you can. But you'll be making less money, like every other ore or something. So just go ahead and put 10. After that, place a military grade conveyor, and then put a little gap right here. After that, put your put five portable ore advancers on each side. Make sure you have 8 military grade conveyors down, and then put a basic conveyor. A turn to the left. Once you've done that, put another row of the portable ore advancers and military grade. In total, I think it should be like 30 or 31 that I have placed. Both work fine. You can use it 30 times, but sometimes it'll work 31 times. So that's why I did that. So after that, like, line this on the last one, just place it there. So your basic conveyor, then a military grade, and then you start the row. After those two, there should be, let me check, there should be 16 military grade conveyors after the basic. Once you've done that, place your portable ore advancers on the side, and then do a turn with 2 basic conveyors this way. Now, if you have enough RP already, go ahead and place the radioactive refiner. You don't need it, but it helps. And this is only if you have enough RP already. If not, and you want to use it, like I said, just go around the map, find some of those crates that are just scattered, and you should be able to get some RP. If you don't have it, just go ahead and like put this next. Do an ore cannon, put 1 away, use the elevated furnace, and on the side, put a wall segment. Without it, you'll be getting 34.4 million, and with the radioactive, I'm pretty sure it's 77.5. So, this is the first setup for Life 1 that you should be using. Here's a better example. You'll see, these are the most common crates you'll find. From this, I'm getting 500. Okay, so this is the first setup. I'll be back with the next setup in a minute. Okay, so this is the next setup that you are going to use. I'm using the same basic structure of the last setup with the ore cannons, plasma iron, and portable ore advancers. So what I did is, I took these, I kind of just like rotated it, really. The only difference is this portion here. So I'm gonna show you what I did. I took my iron mine chan, put it through an ore magnifier. I have it on the very edge of your base. Yeah. I have 2 military grade conveyors. I really should have put 3. I don't know why I didn't. You can put 3 military grade conveyors. Then you can do a basic conveyor, a large ramp. Way up high. This is one of the new items you're gonna buy. In the shop, I think it was like 8.7. Yes, 8.7 billion. So it might take you a little bit after using this last setup, but it's gonna be better. It's worth it. Worth the wait. So after that, just like let it drop. Place 2 military grade conveyors there, right after it. My ore is like invisible or something. They look like it. Let me get a torch, actually. Do I not have any? I guess I do. Oh, it's Magnificent Torch, that's right. Okay, so I have those 2 military grade. In between both, I put a wooden wall segment, so not directly aligned with them, but in between. Then I put an ore gate, so I'll show you in a minute. You're gonna need this ore gate here, so don't think you can just put conveyor, and make sure it's an ore gate. And once you do place the ore gate, make sure you press the little green button to open it to actually let the ores loop. After that, go ahead and place 2 basic conveyors this way, another large converter ramp, and then another way up high upgrader. And then it just loops. Now, if you can only afford 1 way up high upgrader, that's perfectly fine. The loop is just gonna take a little longer. And if you can't afford it, just take your basic conveyors. Well, actually no, actually I don't have it. Just take your basic conveyors and like make it loop, I guess, if that makes sense. You can kind of shorten the loop if you want. Or, you know, you can just... Really, you could... Yeah, you could do that. You could replace this with just a basic... I'll show you in a second. Let me close this, actually. That'll probably help me show. If you can only afford 1 way up high upgrader, let me show you what to do here. So... What you're going to want to do is just, like, keep that there. Keep a large ramp. But instead of doing that, go ahead and just place the military grade there. And do it like this instead. It's gonna take longer to loop, but it costs less, obviously. So once you're done with that, once the ores are done looping, and you'll know they are once the upgrader starts to blink. Once they're done upgrading, you can let them through. Or, well, actually not let them through. Once they're done, press the little red button to close the gate. The ores should get stuck there, as you can see, they're right there. They're like hidden. Once you do that, take this conveyor right after, and replace it in the opposite direction. Place a basic conveyor, and if you haven't withdrawn yet, I'm not going to explain this again, you can go back. I'll try to put a timestamp, maybe. If I remember. So take these cannons. Let me just get light. Take those cannons, if you haven't already withdrawn, and just place them right here. Place them after the gate. So, basic conveyor, this way, like that. Then just like select all and place it right here. After that, go ahead and place your plasma iron polishers. And then your portable ore advancers. After the plasma iron, I have 6 portables, and then I do the turn. Once you're done placing your portables, go ahead and place the radioactive refiner. A normal large conveyor ramp, not a converter, but it doesn't make a difference. You can use either one, but I'm just like using a conveyor ramp, large one. And then you're gonna still be using your elevated furnace. So let me let the ores through. Now, as you can see, they might not all be hitting these upgraders because they're going at the exact same time. Oh, but they're going to be worth 715 billion each. 715 billion. So if you do this setup like 2 times 3 or something, you should have a decent amount of money to buy items worth a trillion. And that's going to be the next setup I show you in a second. Okay, here is your next setup. For the most part, I'm using the same site from last setup. I just kind of like switched what I was using in the loop. So, let me run through what I did. As you can see, we're using a new mine. We're using Painite. It doesn't really necessarily make a difference anymore because we're looping. But I would recommend using this instead because the ores just drop faster. And they're $6,000 more than the Iron Mine Champ. So what I did is I took the Painite Mine onto a centering conveyor. Doesn't really matter which one here. Oh, that's there. Let me do this instead. This would look a little better. So what I did is I took Painite Mine onto a conveyor, into an ore tracker. That allows you to see how much money your ore is worth. So after that, I have 3 centering conveyors going this way. Then I have 1 doing a turn. On both sides, I have 4 Fran Blast upgraders. You can use more if you want, or you can use less. If you're using less, I would recommend like making it like this. Let me close this gate actually, just so they don't die. If you're using less Frayons, say you can't have 8 and you only can get like 4, maybe 3. If you can only do 3, like just put another centering there so it's even. But if you can use 4, go ahead and do this instead of like moving everything that way. Just like throw it like this. Move it this way. So however many you have, you can do that. But just stick with like 8 in this little loop. Let me actually put this back properly. It's not all the way down. Okay, so once again, you're using the OR gate. So I have the 4 this way, I have a centering conveyor, I have 1 doing a turn, and then I have the OR gate. After that, I have the centerings going back this way through the loop. And that's that first beginning part. So once they're done looping, like the last time, this little blue part will start blinking. And that's how you know it's ready. Or you can just tell when the ores are worth 523 billion. So once that's the case, go ahead and close your ore gate and turn this conveyor the other way. So here I switched it a little bit. Instead of starting with the ore cannons, I went ahead and started with the advanced ore polisher, well, portable ore advancers, yes. That's the name. So I started with these. I have, what, 12 on both sides. So it's like right up against the ore gate on this side. You can just like tell from that. So just like place 1 here, and then put 11 more after. So in total you should have 12 on both sides right here. And like normal, use military grade conveyors. Let me see. Yeah, use military. So once you've rotated that, if you're done with stuff, once you rotate, let it through. After that, place a basic conveyor, turn right here. And then continue with your last few portable ore advancers. It's set up like this. Can I move this closer maybe? Yes, I can. No, I can't. Oh, you're gonna have 3 on both sides, but like normal, just have this little extra one here. So in total, you would have 31. So after the basic conveyor, it looks like 6 more military to fill in your last few portable ore advancers. After that, go ahead and place your 10 plasma iron polishers. After that, go ahead and buy 3 advanced ore scanners. Once you place them, so let me show you. Once you place them like against each other, these bits aren't going to be in line. What I personally do is I place however many I have in use. It only works once, but it's best to put like 3 at most, my personal opinion. You can put 4, but for this setup, just put 3, because that's how much space you have for. So select them, pick all 3 of them up, and then place, and now these beams should be aligned. After that, go ahead and place a center conveyor, and then you're going to use the same ore cannon structure that we've been using since the beginning. Once you've done that, go ahead and put a large converter ramp and use an ore replicator. This just makes it so it's like you've done 2 loops, but at once. So instead of going through it and looping this twice, like doing the setup 2 times through, putting this replicator in the end makes it like you've already done it twice, because it just duplicates the ore. And right after that, go and place your new furnace, the sacrificial altar. It's in the furnace shop. Right here. Sacrificial altar for 1.37 trillion. Do not get the sacrificial cell. That will not work. You need the altar. So once you're done looping, go ahead and just let them through. As long as you're done looping and finish the setup. Go ahead and do that. Oh, it's turning daytime. Yay. Alright. So they should be going through, hitting these iron polishers. With the beams aligned, it should hit just about all of them. Once they've gone through here, let me turn this on, they will be replicated, and you will be getting QD for each ore. I think it was said like 1.41. May have said 1.44, I couldn't really tell. But you'll be getting like 1.5 QD for each ore. You can loop this through a few times if you want. So I'd say use this setup. I'm gonna go ahead and say 3 or 4 times. And then you should have enough money for this next setup. Okay, this should be your last setup needed for Life 1. I'm using the same exact loop at the beginning, but the setup is obviously changed. Alright, let me go through this. So, you're using the same starting, like the same loop. You're using your portables, these don't change at all. But there's one slight difference over here. I changed this to 2 centering conveyors, like purposely put right here. So like, not in line, but like splitting this conveyor. After that, I went ahead and put 5 military grade instead of 6. I did that because now we're using flaming ore scanners, and if I didn't, this wouldn't fit, and I need this here. So basically it's the exact same, just make this little change, and then the setup, the new setup should start here. So we have 3 flaming ore scanners. We have a Fram blast upgrader, just so it puts out the fire from this, and the ores like don't die. We're using the same cannon thing, but a little bit different over here. So this bit's the same, it should look the same. You have your cannon, 2 military grade, your basic conveyors, and your walls. You have another cannon, 2 military grade, and a basic going this way, just a single, and your walls. We're also using ion fields now, so go ahead and place 1 on the right side over here. Not in the first one, but the second. This second cannon. After the turn, put 2 more military grade conveyors in your 2 basic conveyors. Put another ion field on the right side this time, and put your walls. After that, put an ore cannon, 2 military grade, a basic, and then the basic turning. And this time use 2 ion fields. It may not look like this one's gonna get hit, just because it's right up against it, but it will. Alright, after that, go ahead and place a military grade. Make sure you have your walls first. After that, go ahead and place your military grade, and then your 10 plasmas. Let me just replace this. Your 10 plasmas. Once you place those, do 2 basic conveyors going this way to the right, not right, to the left. My bad. Do a left turn with 2, splitting this plasma iron. Now, you may not have enough money for 4 orbital upgrades. Say you only have enough for like 2 or 1. Say you don't have enough for any. If that's the case, you probably won't be able to get these. But go ahead and, if you can't afford, before you buy anything, if you have not already, get the orbitals before you get the ion fields. Get orbitals first, and spend whatever money left you have on the ion fields. But if you can afford all 4 ion fields and 4 orbitals, go ahead and just do this. So, right here, place on both sides, make sure you have 3 military grade. Both sides, place 2 orbitals, and then you're going to use Schrodinger's. Yes, you're going to use 7 in a row right here. So once you've placed 7, go ahead and do a basic conveyor to the left. On the right side of it, just place a conveyor wall, because we don't have enough room for a wall segment. After that, place 2 wooden wall segments, a large conveyor ramp, a converter ramp, into your replicator with 2 military grade going this way, a centering, and then a basic. Go ahead and place your walls. Just because sometimes the ore will come flying back this way from explosions from this, so be careful, you can also get killed if it explodes and you're like right next to it. Or you might just lose like an arm or a leg. So after that, go ahead and place 6 more Schrodingers, and then your sacrificial altar. Or if you have enough money, go ahead and use the Dreammaker. Yes. If you can't afford the Dreammaker, if you're like just barely at enough for this setup, if you can't afford like all these Schrodingers on this end, you can just replace them with just a conveyor. Like a conveyor, so like this. If you can't get all of those, just go ahead and take a conveyor and just put it right into the furnace. But if you can't afford all of them, go ahead and just do this. Alright, now let me send the ore through. Alright, now we just wait for them to go. And sometimes the ores aren't going to survive the Schrodingers, so if that's the case, just like loop the setup through a couple more times. Eventually you'll get an ore that goes all the way through. And if you need to get rid of like 2 or 3 Schrodingers over here, that is completely fine. You really don't need this many. It's just like, the more the better for the most part. As you can see, we just got an ore right there worth 29 QN, 371 QN. This setup should last you until life 25, and after that life, your rebirth price is going to go up. So, that's basically it. That's life 1. If you enjoyed, be sure to subscribe, and especially if this helped, subscribe, like the video, comment if you want. Tell me how good I did. Tell me what other like tutorials you would like to see. And I will see you next time, probably in a stream or in another video.